8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of 49 Faithfullee. We're your hosts, Miriah Lee and Teran Lewis. TL, what's up? How you doing?
Nothing much, same old, same old. Looking forward to this playoff game. I don't know how I feel about it though, because I was kind of hoping, we got another day of rest and got to play on Sunday. But I was kind of shocked that they gave a two seed a earlier game.
Yeah,
But it is what it is though. But yeah, but other than that, I'm feeling good. A little bit tired, but yeah, I feel good as usual. So
yeah, me too. I'm tired as well. Chat, what's up? Hope you guys are all doing well. JDLR, Tony Montana, Melissa. She says hit that like. So make sure you guys listen to her. She says smash that like, actually. Appreciate it. Um, East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Jess, what's up? Cowboy Angel Bebop. What's up? What's up? Throwback.
Pennsylvania in the house.
Yep. PA in the house. New Jersey in the house. I forget where Jess is, somewhere over there too, obviously, because she has East Coast in her podcast name. So
Yeah.
I'm going to guess she's over there somewhere.
Yeah, you got Collie from
Collie,
Ohio in the house.
Ohio. Yeah, that's fitting. New Jersey. Another New Jerseyer. New Jerseyan. I don't know what it is. Hope you guys are all doing great. So before we get into any of the games, let's go over some news that just recently came out and some other stuff. You know how we do. So the news had came out that the Titans and Cardinals had requested to interview Adam Peters for their GM jobs. And Adam Peters came out and declined both. He said that he wants to focus on the team's playoff run. So since that news came out, I was reading like what people were saying about it and whatnot. And there seems to be a lot of speculation that if not, the 49ers, if they win the Super Bowl, um, that John Lynch will go on to TV, do his TV thing, get a TV deal, and Adam Peters will become the GM at the 49ers. So that's why he's not taking these, interviewing for these other GM jobs. Or, even if we lose and John Lynch decides he wants to do the TV thing, same case. Or they could promote John Lynch to a different position, right? Some whatever. When they want to make up positions for people, they have no problem doing it, right?
Yeah,
You just
for
add a
sure.
O or a P or whatever at the end of the title and call it
Yeah.
a day. So that could happen, right? And then they could promote Adam Peters. What are your thoughts? Do you think we should try, like, to me, I think they should try away whatever they have to do to keep him, whether that means John Lynch moves on to do whatever he moves on to, that's fine at this point. If there is a way to keep both, that would be awesome too. But I would prefer not to lose Adam Peters. With that request from the Titans for Adam Peters, they also made a request for Rand Carthon.
Oh yeah.
Um, and there was no, obviously, he didn't decline it. So I'm sure he'll go
Yeah.
on to do the interview there. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, what are your overall thoughts on that?
Um, I'm not sure actually. I think Adam Peters, I think he loves it right there in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of these guys have this mentality like I want to finish what I started. Just like the players, they've tasted success as well of getting this close to getting that sixth ring. So yeah, I think I've heard like people say like, oh, we can promote John Lynch to like team president or something like that, and
Mhm.
then give which I think is not even I don't even think we have one with the Niners, do we? I think it's kind of like it's a position that's available, I
Yeah.
guess you can say.
I don't know.
So you can go team president for John, and then go Adam Peters to GM, and then kind of have John Lynch kind of sit in the backfield and do his thing, and give his input when needed. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this. Adam Peters, from all accounts, from what we hear, is he's like the day 3 guy, of the draft, with him and his scouting team and stuff like that. And we all know that day 3 has been our bread and butter of this team, like you get your superstars in the early rounds, or you try to get your main guys who are, who you figure you can give like a max contract and stuff, but your team is built around these 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounders,
Right.
So yeah, so I don't know. I hope he doesn't go. I feel like he's been good for us. I don't know. I mean, just with the players, I don't need to sit here and name them all, but just name a few. With the George Kittles, the Hufanga, stuff like that. Like his scout team has done an amazing job. So I truly hope that he stays with us, and at least like I said, so they can finish what they started. We get that number 6, and then then he'll really be a hot commodity if we win, and then he can look at other options then. So
yeah. What's up to those that have joined? John V, I see you. Hope you're doing well, brother. Denise, Brandon, Tanya, what's up, sis? Twin, what's up, twin? Hope you guys are all doing well. Go ahead and get those numbers in, 1 through 100. We're going to start off and end with a number card. So we're going to start off with George Kittle, numbered 182 out of 199. So we'll start off with that. And then we're going to end with a numbered Elijah Mitchell. So we'll close off with that. Remember that we still have the Ty Davis Price autograph card up for grabs if you guess the number exactly right. And then I have as well, let me see, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 other numbered cards. They're all random numbers, below 100. So I have those written down. If anybody guesses one of those card numbers exactly right, you'll win that as well. So those are a secret little bonus as well. Since we're starting the playoffs, we might as well get some good stuff going. Good luck, everybody. Okay, so now since we're talking about interviews, it did come out as well that the Broncos requested an interview with D'Amico Ryans for their head coach job, and the Texans as well requested an interview with him for their head coaching job. He declined the Texans job. So let's stop there and talk about that for a minute. It's kind of interesting that they would even think, like, I could see right away, right, why he declined that. Like, I think they still have that where they have to interview one minority candidate, right? So they have to interview somebody. So whether they're trying to interview him for that reason or because they really want him, who really knows? But I think it's kind of crazy that you would think that any minority, black, whatever, it doesn't matter, would want to work for your team when you have hired and fired 2 black head coaches within the last 2 years. You've been on record, saying that, that whole, don't let the inmates run the asylum or whatever the hell, like they're the ones that went out and said that, like all these things they're connected to, like all this racist behavior. And you're going to think that a black coach is going to want to come and work there, especially one that's one of the top head coaching candidates in this hiring cycle. Like he's the top name, one of the top names out there. And you're going to think, oh, he's going to turn down all these great places to go work at the Texans. Like, come on. Like, that's so ridiculous. Like, I'm so glad that he turned it down right away. Like, don't even go put yourself through that friggin' interview process. If they have to interview a minority and that's the only reason they're doing it, let them go use that on somebody else.
Yeah.
It seems like, and I hate the fact that they do this, but it seems like that's, Eric Bieniemy, like he gets used for that spot a lot,
For sure.
Like all these teams keep always interviewing him as their one minority interview, unfortunately, and he don't ever get hired anywhere. So I really hope that D'Amico doesn't go anywhere. They asked him in the presser today, they asked him a bunch of questions about it. And they asked him, last year when you turned down, the head coaching, interviews and said, you wanted to stay because there was more for you to learn. What exactly did you have to learn, and did you learn it? And he said that it was more, about the day-to-day things that a head coach has to do. And so he said that he's learned, and there wouldn't have been nobody better for him to learn from than Kyle, that he's learned so much, just being able to sit in with him and, just on the daily things that he has to go through, and then situations that come up, day to day, just everything that goes into being a head coach. He said that he's pretty much got to sit there and, learn right beside Kyle the last 2 years. And he said that he feels he's in a lot better position now than he did last year. So by everything, he didn't say, oh, I'm going to go interview and I'm going to go somewhere, but he made it seem like it sounded more to me, that he's more interested in it, than he was last year. So it sucks. I know there's been a lot of talk about who we could replace him with and all this. And obviously Fangio's name's getting thrown out there a lot. And
that's
I really hope that isn't the replacement. Let's just say there.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Fangio too is I don't know how versatile he is, but we all know he runs that 3-4.
And that's why I don't want him.
Yeah, and then our personnel isn't fit for that. Because like I said, we all know that Drake Jackson, he's more efficient with his hand in the ground. We already know what Nick Bosa can do. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have these dudes gain weight and play outside linebacker and stuff like that? Like, no, I'm not if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's interesting about DeMeco Ryans too, because he played for the Houston Texans for the majority of his career.
Yeah.
So you would think he'd have some kind of a little bit better relationship, but he's a former player, and it's a small circle in the NFL. So all these people talk. They like the players and stuff like that. So I'm sure there's word around the league about that organization, like, hey, they're not a good place to work for, whatever the case may be. So. And then too, it's funny. It's like the slap in the face they gave to Marvin Lewis, not Marvin. What's his name? Who was the guy who was just Lovie Smith?
Yeah.
They say, hey, Lovie Smith, thank you, and this is that. Trying to give him a goodbye after you just fired the man. It's like, man, like what a slap in the face. So, yeah, I think. We knew this day was coming with DeMeco. We all said in the beginning of the season, especially because we all knew this defense was going to be a top defense. We're like, man, with this defense being as good as it is, as long as he remains in the top 5, in the NFL, he's gonna get a job, and he met them expectations. You know what I mean? He exceeded them, in my opinion. So. Yeah, I'd hate to see him go, but I would, but I love to see anybody getting promoted, so if he can go ahead and get a nice promotion and stuff, I'm all for it. And, I wouldn't be surprised if, him, he takes some of our guys as well, kind of like what Mike McDaniel did.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come with me.
Saleh did it. McDaniel did it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. And, and I heard some interview, they're saying that even though Watt has retired or something, he'd be interested in doing some coaching too. And him and DeMeco played together in Houston. So that might be something where he can say, hey, come be my, D-line coach, or, for him to start off, he can be his own, he can have his own Chris Kasarik maybe, because, we all know that J.J. Watt is super smart. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I hate to see the man go, but, hey, kudos to you. He moved up the ranks, started off as a quality control coach, and then went to linebackers coach, then got D coordinator. So, yeah, the man has did it right. He could have left us last year. He didn't. So, yeah, I'm happy for him, whether he decides to stay with us or if he goes. So,
yeah. Tony Montana asked who got the score prediction for week 18. It was Ryan from No Border Sports. He had predicted 35-12, and the score was 38-13. Let's talk about that for a second. The score predictions, remember, we had brought up again, everybody's guessing it's going to be a blowout. Hopefully it don't happen like what happened the week before. And no, this week was really a blowout. It was nice to see. 38-13, man. So talking about real quick about, Saleh and Mike McDaniel taking away our coaches. News just came out today that the Jets and offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur are mutually parting ways. Yeah. So it looks like, probably they needed a scapegoat for their quarterback being crappy and things not working in the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
who else are they going to fire? Can't. Saleh ain't going to fire himself. So
Yeah.
probably, if the Jets have another crappy year, though it's unfortunate, Saleh will be, going next year.
Correct. Yep.
All right, let's do the giveaway. And then we'll get into this game a little bit. The cards game. I watched it again just a little while ago. Man, there are some plays in that game that it was like, this is the kind of offense I've been looking for.
Yeah.
This is the kind of football I've been waiting to see. All right, everybody got their numbers in? I see Ty joined us. What's up, Ty? Bryant, what's up? Scroll through. Hopefully everybody got their numbers. Yes way. Yeah. LaFleur should hire his brother LaFleur so they can be stinking it up together.
For real.
All right. Good luck. Turn this.
All right. I found the top of the chat. So
33.
Ooh, okay. Let me see. I see a 38. Let me see. Let me look at these numbers here.
That's probably the closest. 38.
Yeah, I'm looking again. Yep. 30. Yep. 5 away.
Melissa, congrats. The number George Kittle going to Melissa.
Good job, Izzy.
Melissa's been winning a bunch lately, too.
She has.
She's trying to take over the spot, I think.
Coming for the number 1 spot.
Yep. Congrats, Melissa.
Who won the Kyle use check card? Oh, speaking of that, did you see we had 4 All Pros?
Yeah, I have that written down. We can talk about that real fast.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So yeah, they kind of changed I think this is like an additional one, right? That the players union decided that the players wanted to do because it's only right, I think it should be that way anyways, that they vote on their own people,
Absolutely.
Like they're the ones that play with them, they're the ones that play against them, all that, instead of just some media people, like people that have no clue what's even going on the football field most of the time. They're the ones that usually vote on it, so yeah, I think it was cool that they did this. The players voted, and it just came out about the All-Pro first team. So since they listed like first team specifically instead of just saying the All-Pro team, I would imagine like the other ones, a second team is going to come out as well.
Sure.
But for now, the first team, we had 49ers had 4 players on there: Trent Williams, Juszczyk, Warner, and Bosa. I think that's pretty much, if you had to tell me to guess, with my eyes shut and everything, freaking 4 players that were picked, those are the 4 I'm going to pick, of course. Like, yeah. I think that seems pretty, no, it didn't take very much brain power to figure that one out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of No Border Sports, that's who won the score prediction for Week 18.
Good job, Ryan.
Congrats,
Carly.
Ryan.
I'm a huge Juice fan, so I'm glad he got that, which ain't a surprise. Like you said, the 4 players who made it were kind of obvious to me,
Yep. Sim, what you cooking? He said he's going to listen to Faithfullee while he cooks. Don't be burning yourself or cutting your fingers off like Tanya does, because then she blames me for cutting her hand off while she's cooking and listening to the show. All right, so go ahead and enter your numbers. We'll go let you guys get entered into another giveaway while we start talking about this Cardinals game. I guess this Cardinals game was pretty much how we were expecting. The 49ers were going to go in there and take care of business. However, and we kind of talked about this on our instant reaction show, the beginning of that game, I don't know what it is with this team letting these crappy teams come out, score, put points up right away. Like we've gone anywhere from the very first play of the game till like the fourth play of the game. It seems like, these teams come out there and are able to put points on the board so fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, they came out there and did that. And, a lot of people, of course, I was glad that it wasn't Hufanga that blew the coverage. Let's start there. And that's the first thing I tweeted. Like, I don't want it to be blamed on anybody, but since Hufanga gets such a bad rap the last few weeks and everything get blamed everything, it was nice to see that it wasn't him. But, Lenore's getting killed for that play. And I've watched it over and over and over. And I honestly don't think, like, he was in the perfect position. Like, I don't think, like, what are you supposed to do when the wide receiver is like 3 times your size and pretty much just punks you out,
Yeah.
It's like, he's just supposed to hang on for his life, dear life, like on the guy's arms. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I would have felt worse about the play if he was like, getting beat by 5 yards, was completely lost,
out of
turned
position
around,
and all this.
out of position, didn't look like he had a clue what was going on.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't the case at all. And we talked about this last week too, is like people seem to expect from this guy that he's supposed to be this all pro starter. Like he wasn't even the starter on our own team. Like, he's the backup. Like, what do you expect? Like, just because we've gone through these backup quarterbacks, they've gone through backups, like any other teams, like most teams don't even have one good corner, let alone their freaking backup corners,
Exactly.
like. So I think that he's playing great for what he's been thrown in to do. That wasn't even the position he was supposed to be playing. He's supposed to be playing slot corner, so then he gets thrown in to play the outside corner because Mosley gets hurt. And it's like, now everybody wants to kill the kid for every little thing that happens. Like, I think he's doing way better than a lot of the corners that we've seen on this team the last few years. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I rewatched the game earlier today, and that touchdown pass to Kittle, the first one that's in the back of the end zone, and Kittle like has to do some toe tap, things that we see like other teams, like when I watch other teams, like touchdowns that those teams are making, and it's like, man, I haven't seen that in the 49ers in so long. Like we never had to worry about players doing no toe tap stuff because they don't get thrown the ball anyways to the outside, to the back of the end zone, nothing, usually. So to actually see our players put in position for them to go up and be making these kind of plays is really nice.
Yes.
See Kittle make that catch. Like, I'm just so happy for him finally getting used how he should have been getting used this entire time.
Yeah.
People were killing Kyle for it and all this. And yeah, of course, there was times that he had to be helping block, but all the times that he was out there running routes and he wasn't even getting looked at in the red zone, So I don't know. It's awesome to see the ball's getting spread around. The ball's getting put into our playmakers' hands. We got to see, Elijah Mitchell, man, for him to come back, that guy, he looked like you wouldn't even thought he's been out.
No.
Like with injury, like he looked great. The duo of CMC and Elijah Mitchell, like perfect timing for Elijah Mitchell to come back, like get ready to roll. Teams don't have no film on all these weapons together because every time we'd start getting them, like one would get hurt.
Exactly. Yep.
So now that we got full deck, and now we're going to really get to see Kyle in his bag in these playoff games.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a treat to see. But yeah, your overall thoughts, how'd you feel about this game?
Yeah, I love this game. It was awesome. But yeah, I've been hearing all the, little smoke going towards Deommodore Lenore, all week and stuff like that. And like you said, he's not a starting quarterback. Like he was supposed to be, like slot or, either be the slot or, like a backup because nobody envisioned Emmanuel Mosley, getting hurt and stuff like that. So I think he's doing a pretty good job. There's some stuff obviously he needs to clean up. I mean, for being a fifth round pick, like, he beat out Ambry Thomas and, some other guys that are on this team, so I think he's doing okay. I think, D'Amico's going to probably give him some help over the top in this game because, even though, we've had Seattle's number this year, they still got two good wide receivers like Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf have both been Pro Bowlers. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think if he starts off struggling, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some more snaps from like Janoris Jenkins, just because he's a vet and he's been there and stuff like that. So I think we're going to be fine. I just think we need to get home and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as the game, yeah, I mean it's funny too because I mentioned it during our instant overreaction show, and I thought like it's supposed to be like a monsoon type weather and all this other stuff, and I wasn't even close to that. So I'm glad though because I had predicted it to be kind of a low scoring game. Like I think I said 23-9 or something like that, but the weather looked pretty good, So and they're saying again this week's supposed to be the same thing, but I just hope we have some good weather. And you hit the nail on the head. Like there's not really much more I can say about this game. Like Elijah Mitchell, man, for him being on IR twice this year, been on IR twice. Like he had to miss 6 games twice. So basically he was out 12 games this season. And the way he was out there running like his hair was on fire. Like, at one point he was averaging like 11 yards a carry. And I had mentioned this before. Like, I think, like you said, without having any film on all of our weapons, it's going to be interesting what Kyle dies up in the playoffs. And I said it our last show. As much as I love Juwan Jennings, I would love the best 11 men on the field. And I just think about the possibilities of a Kittle coming off the line of scrimmage, Elijah Mitchell in the backfield, and then you got McCaffrey in the slot, and then you got Ayuk and Debo to the outside. Like that's just saying all those weapons is crazy. And just like it's like pick your poison, who are you gonna guard? I'll take our weapons one-on-one against anybody. You want to put Christian McCaffrey on a linebacker, I'm taking that matchup. George Kittle on a linebacker, I'm taking that. Ayuk on a top corner, I'm taking that because his route running is so filthy. So, yeah, it's crazy to me how everything is starting to pan out. And yeah, we went in there and dog walked them. Well, like I mentioned before, I had to collect my winnings. I had bet in the beginning of the year, Niners will win the division and 10 games. So after Sunday, I went to the sports book and collected my $400 because
Nice.
yeah, so that was some nice winnings to get that in my pocket. To me, that was easy money.
Yeah.
That was easy money. Division winners and 10 wins. Yeah.
Yep. Nice. I have a couple. I have that Nick Bosa will win Defensive Player of the Year. And I bet that like last February. So before all the odds were in his favor like they are now. I have that the 49ers will win the Super Bowl, which I bet that every year.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully one year it'll come in true.
Hey.
And then I think I had Kyle Coach of the Year, which I don't think he's going to get it, but you never know, he could.
That's a possibility though.
So we'll see.
I'm thinking more Brian Dable was probably going to win it.
Yeah. What's up, Celts? I see a couple more people. Bashar, 49er Minded. What's up? The highest number sim is 100. 1 through 100. Tony. What's up, Tony? How you doing?
Tony.
Hey, Tony. I thought I had seen somebody else, but maybe not. I don't know. Jesus Christ, my King. What's up? Appreciate you guys all stopping through. Make sure if you guys haven't that you enter your numbers 1 through 100. Make sure there's no duplicates. We are going to do a giveaway for this Nick Bosa card right now.
Okay.
So good luck, everybody. Flowers for this game, and we already talked about him. I'm going to go with our guy, Elijah Mitchell, to come back 2 touchdowns. Like you said, I think he ended up finishing, 10 yards a carry, like something ridiculous.
Something like that, yeah.
I had it pulled up right here. Let me see. But, man, he looked great, and I'm so excited to see those two together. I just can't wait. Elijah Mitchell and CMC, like with Elijah, because I didn't know what to expect for Elijah Mitchell's workload, and he only had 5 carries. So yeah, 5 carries for 55 yards. So he ended up with 11 yards a carry, 2
Oh, okay, cool.
touchdowns. So man, and like we said, to come off 2 injuries like this season, to be on the IR twice, like that's crazy. And to come back and look like not one single little ounce of rust on him. It's
Yeah,
like if we can keep him healthy through the playoffs, whew, it's gonna be nice.
yeah, for
Who you
sure.
got?
My flowers, I'm gonna give it to Brandon Ayuk. Congratulations on your first 1,000 yards receiving in your career. Well deserved. Yeah, I think he only got it by like 4 yards too. I think he needed like 55 yards and he got 59 or 50, 58, something like that. He was
Mhm.
close, but yeah, but the fact that he got it, I'm super happy for my guy.
I don't know if you had seen Jawan Jennings was mic'd up this week, and like the entire game up until the point of Ayuk getting the 1,000, he kept every play like, "Come on, Ayuk, we need our guy to get 1,000. Come on, Ayuk for a catch, come on!" And then when Ayuk got it, like he went crazy, like he was screaming, jumping up and down, like people were so excited for him. It's awesome to see. Love to see it. For my second flowers, I got to go with Gibson. 2 interceptions. Again, 2 weeks in a row now, he has these interceptions that are just like floating up there, and it's just like us at home are thinking like, man, like this is the easiest interceptions, but we've seen last year how things ended with an interception like that not being made.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful that we found this guy that was on his own couch, to start the season, and we somehow picked him up, and he has been like, he saved our ass. We thought, oh, this defense is doomed when Jimmy Ward went down. This defense hasn't even skipped a beat. If anything, it's picked up a beat. And to have like, that was our biggest thing up until this season, was like, this defense has been great, but it don't get turnovers. Like, you can't get turnovers for anything. And now we led the league in tied first place with interceptions this season. So that's awesome. And he has a huge part of that. I think
Yes.
like he just has his hands like find the ball. Like it's crazy. Like the craziest interceptions he makes, like not even balls that are coming right to him, like he'll be on the field making an interception somewhere where he shouldn't even be. It's like, how did he know like that shit was
Yeah.
coming? It's just crazy. So yeah, got to get the flowers out to him. And especially that he kept, we were pissed at the beginning of the season, well, when Jimmy Ward came back, because we didn't think it was right that he lost his job to injury, but there was a reason why. There's a reason why he did. And Gibson just continues to show that week in and week out.
You know what's funny about Gibson too? Beginning of the year, people were complaining about his hands because he dropped a couple interceptions. So just imagine if he didn't drop those, he would have had probably like about 7 interceptions or so throughout the year. So yeah, he was doing his thing, and we had talked about this for weeks. We're just like, man, like, you should never lose your job to injury, especially when we were talking about Jimmy Ward coming off being on the top 100 player list and, coming off a Pro Bowl. So I was like, man, but yeah, I think what they did, obviously that's why they get paid the big bucks. And they were like, well, you know what? Jimmy Ward is good enough to figure it out in the slot. You know what I mean? So, even though he was struggling there first, he's turned it around too and has gotten better. So yeah, it's been awesome. Gibson just, I mean, like I said, surprisingly, like you said, the man was a free agent just sitting on this couch, and they were like, hey, why don't you come in and, come play free safety for us? And he's done his thing. So for my flowers, this player didn't have a huge game, but he had a huge play. I'm gonna go Jordan Willis.
Yeah.
That's another guy. That's just another guy that we have, that comes off the bench in a rotation and kind of a quiet guy. You don't hear much about him, but he came in this week and made a huge play. He forced that fumble, for us to get the ball back and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna give shout out to Jordan Willis, which I'm sure that'll make Izzy happy because she loves her some Jordan Willis.
Yep, she does. For my last one, I have one more. Let me pull up the thing I have here. I'm going to go with George Kittle. Another game, another 2 touchdowns for George Kittle. In the last 4 games, he has 18 catches, 265 yards, and a league-leading 7 touchdowns. He's been on fire. We talked about it earlier. It's awesome to see our tight end finally getting used how a tight end should be used. We don't have these Chief fans all in our ear talking about, oh, Kelsey this, Kelsey that, when our tight end couldn't even be used how Kelsey was, And we finally have a quarterback that'll take advantage of having a great tight end. So There you go.
Yep. A tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. Especially if he's an elite tight end like a George Kittle, I mean, even though you look at Patrick Mahomes, he's only been in the league for 4 years or whatever. But even him, like even when he had Tyreek Hill, like his safety blanket was Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
and that's just what it comes down to. And I'm glad that Brock Purdy finds him on the field and sees that he's always open. You know what I mean? Him and Ayuk, man, it's like you can throw to either one of them, and they're both going to be open in my opinion. So.
Dang. Gibson has 34 career interceptions now. That's awesome.
Did you see that thing by Ryan Hensley? He said he had posted something like, the Niners have 4 less sacks than they did last year. I go, okay, how many more interceptions? He was like 11 more. And I was like, look, I'll take 4 less sacks to get 11 more interceptions. That means they're creating turnovers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I will too. All right, let's do the drawing for this Nick Bosa card.
Okay.
Good luck. Good luck.
53. Navarro Bowman. Okay, I see JDLR with 54. So let me keep it pushing. Let me see.
One away.
Ooh, Denise 55. Ooh, you just let me see. Make sure I don't screw up like I did last time and call a winner when they didn't win. So let me see.
There was a lot of close ones. Ty had 57.
Yeah, Ty 57. Let me see. Keep it going until I find the last number. Make sure I get everybody. Yep, JDLR with 54.
JDLR, congrats, brother. Congrats. All right. Let's see what else we have before we get into the Seahawks game. That might be it. A couple things. So I had seen that Niner Nick Newman had posted this, and it was about Ayuk and his 1,000 yards. And it was like, let me find the exact tweet so I don't screw it up. But this was pretty cool and makes you think like how, which a lot of us have been, saying this already, but how elite Brandon Ayuk could actually be with a real quarterback. Like him and the whole Kittle situation too. It's like how great these players would be when, they actually have a quarterback throwing them the ball. So it was NFL receivers who recorded 1,000 yards or more on NFL teams that threw the ball less than 52% of the time. There's 7 wide receivers total. Brandon Ayuk's one. He had 114 targets for 1,015 yards. So remember that, 114 targets.
Okay.
So 2 more examples for there. A.J. Brown, he had 1,496 yards on 145 targets. Devontae Smith had 1,196 yards on 136 targets. And Brandon Ayuk has 114 targets. So imagine if he was getting 145 targets, what his yardage would be. Like that guy, he's capable of doing so much more. And
for sure.
Man, this offense.
Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, so Hurts was doing a good job giving them both the rock.
Yeah. They were both 1,000-yard receivers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. And then there was something I want to talk about with Kyle real quick. Let me find it here.
Hey, Collie, I agree. Cool. I agree with you about Kinlaw. He did not look good at all. starting to get a little worried about that dude. I was hoping that I don't know, and maybe I missed it because the last couple of weeks I've been real busy at work, but I was really hoping that they were gonna take Collier Davis off the IR because they had mentioned it, saying
Yeah,
that he was a
they closed his
possibility.
window now.
They closed his window. Yeah, I was
Yep.
hoping that he was going to be able to play because he's like a DJ Jones 2.0 to me, except I feel like he's a little bit quicker. So, yeah, I agree, Collie. Not looking good for Kinlaw, man.
Yeah, I agree too. I actually have Kinlaw written down to talk about because it's like there were times where I wasn't even seeing that he was like noticing the whole game went by, and I'm like, did Kinlaw even play? Like I thought, he's supposed to be out there. Until then there's the play that they're bringing him up. Oh well, he's just getting pushed back, and he didn't like on the goal line. Play. It's like Kinlaw got completely pushed back for the touchdown, and it's like that guy weighs as much as he weighs. Like there's no reason that running back or that whoever the frick they had blocking him at the time is like pushing you back that far.
And he's
Like I don't know.
And we know he's strong, but sometimes,
Yeah.
and Kelch just hit the nail on the head. I was just about to say, sometimes it's leverage, foot placement, stuff like that. Like you can have all the strength in the world, but if your technique ain't good and your leverage ain't the best, you're gonna get pushed around. Period.
Yeah, I miss DJ Jones too. I agree.
I
I'm
agree,
hoping
Cowboy
that
Angel. He needs
Kalia
to get
Davis
lower.
can be that.
I think he is. I mean,
Next
I want
season.
that dude's a beast. I mean, it sucks that he was hurt all year, but that dude has so much potential, and he looks good. I think it's Central Florida or something like that. But yeah, dude can play.
All right, so this is about Kyle Shanahan. Only 3 head coaches in 49ers history have multiple 13-plus win seasons. Bill Walsh, George Seifert, and Kyle Shanahan. So, like, there's been a lot to be said about, Kyle can only win with Jimmy. Always it's brought up his win-loss record without Jimmy, his win-loss record with Jimmy, his win-loss record compared to Sean McVay's win-loss record. Like up until this season, he was under 500 as a coach. Like that's always brought up. So I'm just glad that Kyle, even going through 3, and this is why I think that he's in consideration for coach of the year, because a lot of teams can't even win with their second quarterback. Like your backup quarterback's not meant to win you more than 2-3 games, in case of an emergency, let alone your third freaking quarterback, a rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, somebody that every single team pass by over and over and over and over. Like that's who we have out there winning games for us. And like it's just awesome to finally see Kyle, go out there and prove all these freaking, like he even gets blamed for the shit that happened in the Atlanta Super Bowl. Like he wasn't even the head coach, yet he gets blamed for that. Like that's the shit I don't understand, So
yeah, I don't like that
I'm
at
glad
all.
he finally goes out there and shuts all these people up.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've always was against that argument. They're like, "Oh, Kyle couldn't hold a lead." I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. That's on Dan Quinn. He's the head coach. When something ain't working, and you see, like when he saw the defense kind of, letting the offense catch up a little bit, and Kyle wasn't calling the same plays, he should have stepped in and said, "Hey, Kyle, go back to doing this. Go back to doing that. What was working in the first half." So yeah, I don't get the blame of like, "Oh, he gave up a 28-3 lead." Like if you had 28 points, it's your defense's fault that you let them come back and score that many points. So yeah, it's crazy to me.
Yep. What's up, Rohan? What's up? All right, let's go ahead and get you guys going on another giveaway, and then we will start talking about this game coming up.
Well, put your numbers in, fam. 0 to 100.
1 to 100.
Oh, 1 to 100. Sorry. 0 don't pop up on there.
Well, you have to reset it, but it comes at 1.
Is he going for the trifecta, going 38 3 times, huh? Okay.
This stat came out that the 49ers end the regular season on a 10-game winning streak, including the last 6 games with Brock Purdy. Purdy won 114 out of 170 for 67%, 1,374 passing yards, 13 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 4 interceptions. San Francisco scored 33-plus points in 5 out of 6 of those games. Purdy threw 2-plus touchdowns in each game. 33-plus points in 5 out of 6 games with Purdy. from an offense that we were yelling that we couldn't even put up 20 points.
Yep. And you know what the difference is too? Is we were actually moving the ball. There wasn't many 3-and-outs, stuff like that. And people, were keeping the defense fresh. You know what I mean? So that also helps the situation. That's why, too, if you notice, like, I feel like we're getting more turnovers, as he started and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like the team as a whole just played better with him playing at quarterback just because, he was efficient. He saw the open receivers. He kept drives going, and that's all you ask for in a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like what he did, and he came in and did everything he was supposed to do, and he exceeded expectations, being the last pick in the NFL draft. So,
yeah. What's up, Paul? He says, which OC or DC is blamed for a Super Bowl loss besides Kyle? Nobody.
Exactly.
That's seriously. Nobody else you hear that.
I mean, I remember when we hired him. Oh, you're gonna hire a guy who gave up a 28-3 lead. I'm like, he ain't the head coach. Head coach should always take the blame. When you're at a normal job and you're a manager and your team ain't taking care of business, the manager's going to get the blame. The manager's going to be the one that say, hey, your team is not executing. Your team is not, whatever the case may be. It's not going to be on the players. The manager is the one who's supposed to get them going. So for Kyle to get blamed is horrendous. That's crazy to me that he gets blamed for that Super Bowl loss.
Yeah, it's you're hiring a choke artist and like all this shit. Like, oh my God. And then of course, then in our Super Bowl loss, and they're like, see, now he choked in 2 Super Bowls, and it's just like, seriously. Bashar says, I sort of miss it when Denise cusses, LOL, but I don't want to see that from here on out. Yeah, those cussing Denise shows, instant reactions, meant the 49ers were losing. So let's really hope we don't have to see that. So, and Brandon Ayuk had said in his presser yesterday, that like when they asked, how's the team, is the team ready for this, yada, yada, the questions they ask. And he's like, well, it's pretty simple. When you tell the team, you're either going to be in this locker room next week preparing for another game, or you're going to be at home. It's plain and simple as that. We lose, we're done. We don't have another game to prepare for. So you either play and give everything you got, and you're here next week preparing for another game, or you're at home. Like, can't get any more simpler than that.
Yeah.
Like, you better give all you got, or else your ass is going to be at home. All right, so let's get into this Seahawks game.
All right.
How are your overall thoughts first when you found out that the Seahawks were the ones we'd be facing instead of everybody else?
I kind of had mixed feelings because, during our show after the game was over, when we're waiting on our opponent, we're in here talking with, JV and a couple other people on here and stuff talking, Denise, Izzy, and I was just like, who would you rather play? I asked all you guys, who'd you rather play? Would you rather play Aaron Rodgers, who, the Packers at the time, obviously not anymore, but were kind of hot, or do you want to play the Seahawks, who we had to play a third time? And after that, I was just like, and I gave the positives and the negatives on both. And right now, I still think we're the better team, regardless. Like, going in there, I think the game's gonna be closer than what we think. I just have a true belief it's not gonna be a blowout. I just think we're gonna win. I know Pete Carroll's gonna go. He's gonna hit him. He's gonna try to go all out on us. He wants this win bad. Mm-hmm. I know Pete Carroll wants this win bad, especially because it's in our house and all this other stuff. Like I said, we're gonna win. I just think, just keep doing what we've been doing. Go in there, execute, no turnovers. I truly believe that this defense is elite. If we score 24 points in the playoffs in every game, I don't think anybody's beating us. I don't think anybody's beating us if we score at least 24 points. So, and saying that, Brock Purdy, everybody's saying, I'm not worried about Brock Purdy. Not really either. But at the same time, he's still a rookie. It's a different atmosphere. People go all out in the playoffs. It's a lot more physical, stuff like this, because everybody knows, win or go home. So, I don't know. Like I said, this kid's been they say he's been starting at quarterback for the last 8 years. Started 4 years of high school, started 4 years of Iowa State. Like, the dude's he's seasoned. You know what I mean? And sometimes, that obviously from what we've seen for the past like 2 months, it's just translating onto the field. So I like our odds. Like I said, I know it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row, and I know people got a little fear because of what happened last year. They
Yeah.
look at the Rams game. Oh well, we played the Rams twice and we dominated them, and then when we go into the playoffs, we can't beat them. But I think it's just a different ball game. We're just a different team. We got a different quarterback. You know what I mean? We got a lot more weapons. You're right, Sam. Plus 6 years of baseball. I think we just have what it takes to do it. The only team I actually kind of fear a little bit in the NFC would be probably the Eagles. Other than that, I think we're good. So
Yeah, this morning Ryan asked me that on his show, what team in the NFC, if we get past the Seahawks, would I fear the most? And that's the only one I had to say too was the Eagles.
yeah.
And for I don't know what your reasonings are, but mine is for the most part because this defense, I trust them at everything else but being able to stop a running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We're having trouble even stopping quarterbacks that just scramble. It's like they're getting away with all these runs and they're not even running quarterbacks. It's
Yep.
like then we go against, probably the best running quarterback in the league right now. And that scares me with, their running game, everything. Like they're dynamic through the air, on the ground. I think that they're the most other complete team besides the 49ers.
Yeah.
There was some things I had seen about that this is shout out to Rohan. He had posted this. Many are talking about how it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Statistically, though, the numbers favor the 49ers. Teams are 14-9 when facing a team they swept in the regular season for a 3rd time. Additionally, teams are 12-6 when doing so at home in the playoffs. So both, numbers statistically are in our favor. So, but like you said, I think that's what it is. And a lot of people, I've heard them say that as well, that it's because what happened with the Rams. And it wasn't just, we swept them twice and then they beat us in the playoffs. It's like we swept them 6 times in a row in the regular season and then they beat us in the freaking playoffs, So it's like, why a team that we normally don't sweep, in the regular season, the Seahawks, normally we have trouble with them.
Yep.
Or they sweep us, it's like we finally sweep them. And now, we're expected to beat them a 3rd time too.
Yeah, what I will say too about this is that all the teams that we've played since Brock Purdy's been the quarterback, they're the only team has kept us under 30 points.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yep.
good to know. Wow.
They're the only ones. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Gino, I think that he's had a better season this season than what's his nuts had the last couple years.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Like, he just seems like he has that team. Like, I don't know, like the players, I've heard them talk and they're like, oh yeah, Russell, he's a great leader. He's this, he's that. But I just feel like the players seem like more together now under Gino than what they did under Russell. Like the team seems so much closer right now than what they did when Russell was there.
Yeah. I feel like now, since they don't have him, I feel like they're not as much quarterback dependent. So I feel like they put the team on his back and say, hey, I need you to win the game. Which now it's like they're letting Gino just kind of play loose and stuff like that. And I don't know. That's how I feel. Because I feel like he's carried that team for so long. I mean, even before they got Lockett and Metcalf, it was always like the Russell Wilson show. And I was always like, how are they beating us? They ain't got no weapons. They ain't got no weapons, but they just had our number of beating us. So I don't know. It's crazy to me. But I for one, I know this ain't a Seahawks or Denver Broncos type show, but I truly believe, like, if as much as I hated Russell Wilson, the player, as far as because he beat us, he's a good person, and I feel like he does work hard. So like if they get a good coach there, because I feel like the Broncos coach was terrible. I feel like he was terrible.
Yeah,
but if they get themselves a Sean Payton, don't be surprised if Russell Wilson comes back and has a better season. Like everybody thinks he's washed. I truly don't believe he is. So
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
like not very often do you see coaches get fired in their first year. Like normally,
Yeah.
you know, they get a couple years to at least either fuck shit up or fix things, you know, like so for a coach to get fired in the first year, like
Yeah.
that says a lot. What's up, Moses? Good to see you. Edgar, good to see you. Eric, our Seattle Seahawks fan, what's up?
Oh, symmetry. You brought up Shiloh Rochelle. My goodness. I never forget that dude. I never forget passing up on Deshaun Jackson to draft him. Terrible move.
All right, everybody got your numbers in? We're going to do this giveaway for this Debo card, and then we'll go ahead and get score predictions.
All right. Let me go up to Izzy because she was the first in the building again.
Good
It's
luck, good luck.
It's like she has us on a timer. She's like, I know when they're going to ask for numbers. Let me see. Where are you at, Izzy? All right, I'm ready.
You have to enter a number 1 through 100, but you're going to need to scroll up and make sure that you don't enter a duplicate number.
The first number is Melissa with number 38 at 4:29 Pacific Standard Time. For your East Coasters, 7:29.
So if you scroll up to 729 in the chat, that's when the numbers start. Just make sure that you don't enter a number that's already been entered.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a minute to enter it. Yes, please, everybody hit the like button. Share it with your homies.
That dude was so trash. Him, Josh Garnett, remember him? He was terrible.
Yeah.
From Stanford. And then who was that other guy that we had who was like he was soft, like Marcus Martin. Remember that guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that dude was so soft.
Wow. Really, Eric? That's interesting. You think we're gonna send you guys home, huh?
Brandon Thomas from Clemson. I remember him too, Sam. Josh Garnett, Marcus Martin. Them fools are just straight soft. Shiloh Rochelle. I'm like, Deshaun Jackson's on the board. Nope.
Nobody entered 75, I don't think. Let me see.
I don't see. I'm looking too.
Yeah, you should. Oh no, JDLR entered 75 already, Moses. So 75's taken. Give you a minute to enter something else. If not, we're drawing and then we're going to be starting another one. So you can just wait and get into the next one if you want. Let me write down these people's scores while they're coming in so I don't get far behind.
Yeah.
32-13. All right, so let's draw this. Good luck, everybody. $17. Sim had 16.
Okay. Who's that? I can't remember. Hey, my mind went blank. Hey, the chat, help me out. Who was that wide receiver we drafted out of Illinois in the first round? I think it was who wore that number. I know he was number 17. Do you guys remember his name? Because my mind went blank. It was trash.
I think that's the closest.
Yeah, I think it is too. AJ Jenkins. There you go.
Yeah.
Number 17. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Congrats, Sim. That's Sim's first win.
I was about to say first time winner. Congratulations.
Sim's giveaway charity now. Once we pop it, can't stop. So you'll start winning all the time now. Congrats. You got yourself Debo. All right, score predictions. Let's go ahead and get score predictions in.
Alrighty.
Yeah, what you going with?
24 Niners, 16 Seahawks, 24-16.
I'm going 31-20.
Okay.
49ers, of course.
Yeah.
Bashar 32-13. Melissa 24-13. I don't think I missed any others.
Paul H got the same as me. That's funny. 24-16.
All right, Kilts.
37-10 in the rain, huh?
Yeah, the weather there, man, is crazy right now.
Sim.
Like, I hope everybody's safe
I
because,
know.
like, Robert, his whole house is underwater. His entire neighborhood's underwater. Like, he had to evacuate everybody.
Yeah.
Their entire neighborhood had to evacuate. His entire town, actually.
Yeah, it's been said. I read this article that some kid got washed away from the flood and drowned. It's been horrendous.
Yeah.
Sim, we don't give out cars for players that played for Ohio State, bruh. Ahmad Plummer is disqualified. No, I'm just messing with you. Just gave out a Bosa card.
28-10. Hey, Chrissy.
17 people have lost their lives, Bashar said. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's been terrible. He said in a Wazake jersey. Wow. I'm going to give you a Marquez Pope jersey. If you know, you know.
Bryant, 29-3. That would be nice. I would love nothing more than to beat the shit out of the Seahawks and that gum chewing freaking Pete Carroll.
Man. And there's a lot of 24-13s on this chat.
Tony Montana, 28-20.
Hey, Bashar, I knew that you'd know who he was. Marquez Pope. Old school corner.
JDLR, 31-24. The scores are a lot closer today. Twin, 13-20.
13-20. R.W. McQuarters. Sam's naming all these old school players. It's funny.
He's such a pain in the ass.
I love Sam. That's my boy.
Denise.
Hey, Collie, as much as I hate Ohio State, man, I love me some Joey Galloway and Sean Springs. Those dudes were beast. Denise.
Tony, 31-21.
Yeah, Tony Parrish, man. That dude, number 33, he was a good, strong safety for us. I remember him.
Denise, why you're copying Melissa? Because she's been winning a lot?
Probably.
Nobody's picking the Seahawks to win?
It doesn't seem like it so far, no.
Not even the Seahawks fan. Well, it's crazy that, like, the last, all these games we've had at home, and last how many they've said, oh, it's going to be raining, it's going to be raining, it's going to be a rain game, and we've had no rain come the game time.
I know.
Now, the game that we're probably going to get the most rain, and it's a playoff game. Against a team that lives in the rain.
Who lives in the rain. And it's probably
we're not even benefiting.
Sunny. It's probably going to be super sunny again. Well, I feel bad for Miss Deb, too, because she sold her tickets for both games because she thought it was going to be raining and stuff.
Yeah.
Lance Schulters, Ronnie Hurd, man.
All right. If everybody got your scores in, if not, the couple that are coming in, I can get them as we go. But go ahead and enter your numbers. We're going to do this numbered Elijah Mitchell card. Elijah Mitchell rookie card.
Cool.
Number 180 out of 299.
No borders. Just put a score prediction in.
27-24.
You guys remember Arnaz Battle?
Yeah.
You remember him, Miriah? Yeah. we had a stretch of me and Sim talked about this before, and I think it was on Breezy's show. Like all the receivers we missed on, like it was terrible for a long time. DeAndre Smelter, Ronald Johnson, it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the best our wide receiver group has looked in a long
In a
time that we've
long
drafted.
time. Like I guess you can kind of give Crabtree. He was cool for a minute, but we had like Brandon Lloyd for a while. But other than that, our wide receiver core was trash.
Moses, Tony Montana already picked 42. So you got to pick something. Oh, no, now Tony Montana picks 43. So I guess you can keep it. Okay, he changed to 33. So Tony Montana, you're going to keep 42.
All right. It looks like Tanya was the first one.
Sim had 43 anyway.
Okay, 43. Let me see. Where's Sim at? Where's his number? Oh, I see it now. Yeah, it looks like Tanya's first with 65.
And then Bebop, I don't know if you're still here. If so, I didn't get a score prediction from you. I think that's the only one I'm missing that I had seen.
Was that it? Eric Johnson had hands, Collie. He was pretty solid for tight end. He's all we had for a while.
Good luck, everybody.
I'm still traumatized by Taylor Mays. I haven't bought a jersey in a decade because of that guy. I'm still traumatized by that dude. He should have been like a linebacker or something. His angles were terrible. He had all the speed and size in the world, but his IQ was trash. Like he's just terrible.
What matchups are you most looking forward to with this game?
Well, hopefully it's good luck if I say this, because last time I was worried about the Jalen Waddle, Delmer Lenore situation, because I thought, it's funny. I thought he was the one that's going to go deep on us, and it was Trent Sherfield of all people.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to say I'm worried. I'm more worried about probably Demo on Tyler Lockett. The Tyler Lockett's a great route runner. Size matchup is perfect. They're both like smaller guys and stuff like that, like 5'10", 5'11". But, like I said, Lockett he's been a Pro Bowler, great route runner and stuff like that. I think that's the only thing I'm worried about. And if, Pete Carroll, as much as, we can't stand the guy and stuff and his gum chewing and, he just seems like a sleazeball to me, like the way he is. But, if Geno Smith starts to use his legs a little bit and to buy some time, I'm gonna be worried about that, and just just giving the chance for the receivers to get open, because that's all we need. We see what Jarrett Stidham did, with the Darren Waller and Devontae Adams and stuff like that. So, if Geno Smith, if they're watching the game film against, the Raiders game, who gave us a lot of trouble offensively, they can go back to that tape and look at that and see how the game was played. And Kenneth Walker is a beast of a running back for being a rookie. Dude's a stud. Yeah. So that's one thing too that might be a worry if he's he's running with his legs. Like if he's in the backfield and he happens to get open, in the flat or whatever the case may be, he can dump it off to him. That can give us trouble as well.
Yeah, and he didn't play last game. He was hurt.
No, he was hurt. So yeah, I think he played. Yeah, I think he played his last game for them to get into the playoffs, and he looked pretty good. So yeah, I think that if I had to pick one, obviously, I think it'd probably be our secondary. Hopefully. Hufanga has gotten it together, because, he was struggling a little bit, and then Demo. But like I said, I feel like if Demo is struggling a little bit, don't be surprised if we see some Janoris Jenkins, we see some Jackrabbit up in there. So, yeah, I think that's probably my only issue. I think we're going to get home. I hope we keep the D-line fresh. Somebody in the chat said Kevin Givens was coming back.
Yep.
So, and then he said that D'Amico running that 5 too. So, yeah, if we can get five D linemen on there to get home, put our fastest guys towards the end, because like Jordan Willis, he has some speed too, and you got Drake Jackson, all this stuff. So yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. Like I said, it's the spread's at -10. I think we're gonna win, obviously, but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. Like every time I think there might be a blowout, it never happens. Because I'm just like, I think sometimes we overthink it too much and be like, oh, like, like the Raiders game was a perfect example.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mom in this chat, you and I all picked blowouts, and it had to go into overtime, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting though.
Hey Pete, good to see you.
Hey Pete. So yeah,
get your numbers in. I'm looking the most forward to seeing the Charvarius Ward against Metcalf matchup, just because that's been such a great matchup the last 2 times. So I'm not expecting that to change. Those two just are both little scrappers out there, so it's a good. I like that. Like, I don't think we've had like that kind of energy since Crabtree and what's his nuts? Richard Sherman. Since that battle, I don't think we've had a battle like that since. Now this Charvarius Ward and Metcalf battle is good. Also, the run game both ways against the linebackers. And I say that because our side, I'm looking forward to our run game against their linebackers because their number one linebacker's hurt. He's out. So, and I talked about earlier, that CMC and Mitchell together should be a deadly combo out there. So
nasty. Yeah.
They don't have nobody to stop them. So that should be good. And then, the other way, like you talked about, their running back's been, great, but Greenlaw is supposed to be back. He's back at practice yesterday. So I'm expecting, that Greenlaw and Fred Warner's going to have that taken care of. So should be good. But yeah, they definitely need to. I don't want to see freaking the Seahawks coming out there and putting points on the board in the first 5 seconds of the game. Like, we need to. That's not going to work in these playoffs, getting freaking down like that. And like, we need to start fast, run the freaking ball, especially if it's going to be raining like crazy. Like, we have the running backs to be able to run the ball now. Like, run the ball. Yep. Like, we saw you take the ball out of Jimmy's hands, in the playoffs in 2019, if that's what we got to do, and not because Brock's playing bad, but because it's raining, because that's our most, efficient thing at the time, like, do it. Seems like, he's going to pass more often now than run the ball. And it's like, I really think that this is a game that we need to run the ball.
Yeah. I totally agree. That's going to be an interesting game. It's funny how we have the first playoff game of the weekend.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out our fate pretty quickly here, But it's kind of, I guess it's, one thing is kind of good, we come out on a Saturday and we win, and maybe they don't give us a game till like the following Sunday or something, you know what I mean? So we'll see what's going on. I found it kind of weird that Dallas and Tampa play on a Monday.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I had a Booby Dixon card here.
Booby Dixon. He couldn't get one carry inside the 5 in our Super Bowl run against the Ravens. I'm still pissed about that. You know who would be a good running back in this system if Kyle got his hands on him? LaMichael James.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna pick the winner. Good luck, everybody.
Let's go back. Let me go back up here. $56. Okay, so Tanya was first. It's funny, her numbers are opposite. She's 65. See, 49. Okay. Let me make sure. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make sure Izzy didn't put 2 numbers in because I'm confused. Hold on.
She put 38.
She did? Oh, okay, cool. I see something she put. I need 57. Did you see that? So
yeah,
I didn't know what she was
she
talking
put
about.
38 at 4.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's no one very
Scrolling
close.
down. I think the closest one is 49.
Who was it?
I think Bashar. Let me look again.
Oh yeah.
That who was? Yeah.
Congrats, Bashar. Get this numbered Elijah Mitchell rookie card. Congrats to you.
Perfect.
All right, fam. Got any closing thoughts?
No, I think I feel good about this game. I've been, it's been an awesome run. I just think we just, business as usual. Don't go in there overthinking stuff. Don't try to get cute. Stuff like that. Just go in there and do your game planning. I feel like you only get cute is when you need a touchdown when you lose and to throw people off. Like if you're going in there, you're doing your thing. I like to see Debo get more involved. Seems like he's, hasn't really been involved as much, but I feel like he probably will be, more this game. Just because I love when Kyle spreads the ball around. I like when it goes to IU, goes to Jennings, Kittle, stuff like that, because then it keeps the defense honest. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's my only thought. I just hope we go in there and and I know we probably not. Like I know we have so many veterans on this team who have sniffed so much playoff success that I don't think they're gonna go in there and have to worry about overlooking anybody. You know what I mean? So with the Fred Warners or Trent Williams and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my final thoughts. Like I said, we win 24-16. I think it'll be close until maybe like the third quarter. Then I think we start pulling away. So I just hope it doesn't rain as bad as it says it's supposed to. But like I said, we've been blessed the last 2 times because it was supposed to pour against Tampa Bay and it didn't, and it was supposed to pour this last game against Arizona and it didn't. Like the weather was pretty much to our favor. So we got Pete with the last minute score prediction. He got 31-10. You guys are taking me way back in Niner history, man. Lance Schulters, Deshaun Goldson, man, this is so many good people.
I agree with Kelts. Hold on to the ball in the rain. We've been winning that turnover battle. This last game with 4 turnovers against 0, we gave up. So we definitely need to win that turnover battle again.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll through the chat and click on somebody's name. We'll give
for a
away
winner.
this
Okay.
this Brandon Ayuk card.
Since you guys are bringing up the old school guys, who was that linebacker? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Who played next to Jeff Ulbrich? He was a tackling machine. I think his name started with like a D or something. He was a monster.
So the next comment that I click on will be the winner of this Brandon Ayuk Clear Vision card. Good luck.
Derek Smith. There you go. I said it. As soon as I said it, I thought about it. They put it on there. Derek Smith, tackling machine.
Scrolling. Click.
Collie Young.
Collie, congrats. Good. I'm glad it went to a BA lover too. So I'm not trying to give up my Brandon Ayuk rookie cards to no. Debo lover. Congrats, Collie. Brandon Ayuk. I like these clear cards a lot. Probably because they're different,
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Yeah, Sam, I saw your comment earlier. I agree with Julian Peterson. He was all around just a great linebacker, could cover. I never forget when he locked down Tony Gonzalez. That's when I knew he was special.
All right, fam. You won't be here, right, for the instant reaction show?
No, I'm going out of town this weekend.
All right, so if my people want to come through, hopefully this won't be our last instant reaction show. Hopefully we'll have more to come.
Seriously.
But either way, hopefully you guys will come through. I'll be here.
Yeah. Hey, Bashar, he won on a random chat. Like it wasn't like a number giveaway.
Yeah, I just scrolled through and selected a comment. And that's the one that was selected.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody have a safe week. Rest of your week. Have a safe weekend. Let's get Saturday here. Let's get this dub.
Let's get this dub and let's stay
guys
healthy.
Out of there safe. Yep.
Absolutely.
Safe
all right,
and healthy. All right, fam. Much love. Right. Appreciate you guys. I'll be in here. You know the vibes.
You see Tanya's comment? If I'm not drunk, I'll be in here.
She'll be drunk. She ain't ever here for it. All right. Yep.
All right,
Beat
family.
Seattle. Let's go.